From the station working for you, this is an RTV6 special report.
Now at 11, RTV6 is bringing you everything you need to know about the coronavirus outbreak. The latest major development is happening on the West Coast. About an hour ago, the governor of California issued a statewide order for people to stay at home because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Here in Indiana, Governor Eric Holcomb announced new major steps today in the ongoing fight to stop the spread of the virus.
Indiana's state of emergency will extend into May at least. The extension is for an additional 30 days after the current order expires on April 5th. All kindergarten through 12th grade schools will remain closed until May 1st. That date could change depending on the course of the outbreak. State unemployment laws will be interpreted to the broadest extent possible. And no residential eviction or foreclosure actions can be started during the public health emergency. The governor says this does not relieve people of their obligations to pay rent or make mortgage payments. And Madison County is going even further with efforts to contain the coronavirus. Starting tomorrow and through April 6th, the county is directing businesses and retail stores that do not sell food or home supplies to close. There are many exemptions, including healthcare facilities, gas stations, and repair shops. Funerals will be limited to 10 people, and a travel watch will be in effect, meaning only essential travel is advised. Again, this order is for Madison County. And Delaware County and Muncie are declaring a joint emergency. It orders all barbershops, salons, tattoo parlors, gyms, indoor play areas, private clubs, and fraternal organizations to close to the public. So far in Indiana, there have been 56 positive cases of the virus, and the number of deaths stands at 2 tonight.
And we will get back to our coronavirus coverage shortly, but we want to get to the forecast as the storm threat continues. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory joins us with the Storm Team 6 alert. Kevin.
And the good news, we've had no severe storms this evening. We continue with a slight risk for isolated severe storms overnight. Definitely heavy rain potential. And if you stepped outside, it's still very mild. Let's go to Sullivan to Bloomfield towards Spencer. This area of rain moving north and east, and then we'll slide northeast with it up to Martinsville, Franklin, and Shelbyville. These are pockets of heavy rainfall, and you may be hearing rumbles of thunder. I'd say overnight, Terre Haute to Indy, Muncie, southeast will be the most active, where you'll have additional rainfall 1 to 2 inches. Not to say you won't have some rain north of Indy, because I think we will. Then it becomes falling temperatures that we'll talk about through the day tomorrow.
Now back to the new measures announced today by the governor and other state officials. The biggest change for many is the decision to keep schools closed until May and possibly longer. State Superintendent Jennifer McCormick says she understands that this could be tough for parents. She also shared a message for students.
This is a very, very difficult time on many different levels, so I want to make sure that the families know how incredibly thankful we are. To the kids, this is my message to you. Be positive, make good choices. Stay on your work that you have at home. It's extremely important that you are a good partner in this.
Governor Holcomb also canceled all state-mandated assessments for the 2019-2020 school year, including iRead, iStep, and iLearn.
Indiana has yet to shut down the state's daycare and child care facilities, a relief for some parents. RTV6's Cameron Riddle takes you to one daycare that is closing its doors for now to be there for families as this crisis continues.
As the coronavirus continues to spread, hand sanitizing is the first step when you enter the Reach to Teach daycare.
Every 30 minutes, we have a timer that goes off, which indicates the adults and the students to wash our hands and also sanitize all the knobs and the railings of the fences.
And like clockwork, it's time to sterilize.
Time to wash our hands.
Keisha Davis and her staff at the Reach to Teach daycare are taking coronavirus seriously.
Just because the safety of our children, if it wasn't for our kids and our parents, we wouldn't be in business.
The daycare, located on the city's west side, stayed open a week longer than the schools in Marion County. But Davis made the call to shut down for now to provide a safer place for kids in the weeks ahead.
Tomorrow will be our last day of opening for at least a week or two, just so we can sanitize everything. We're getting new playpens, new high chairs. My crew and I, we're going to come in, sanitize the whole daycare from up to down, and just get ready for the kids to come back in 2 weeks.
The decision to close comes as the confirmed cases of coronavirus in Indiana tops 50, and as the governor extends school closures into May. free. Davis is hoping the doors aren't closed for too long, as parents with school-age kids have showed their gratitude for a safe place to send them.
Our parents really appreciate us staying open for this extra week because we do have a lot of after-school kids, so they've been coming full-time, and they really appreciate that.
Working for you on the West Side, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
Thanks, Cameron. And Indiana's Family and Social Services Administration has been advising child care facilities when it comes to cleaning and sanitation. The administration facilities should stay open unless one of its kids tests positive for the coronavirus.
School districts across central Indiana continue to get creative to get healthy meals to kids in need while classes are out of session. Plainfield is using their Quaker Break food truck. The refurbished school bus is normally used for a life skills class for high school students, but with canceled classes, it has a new purpose. The bus is now one of 4 mobile meal units the district is sending out into the community, and parents are grateful.
Very happy that we can, our community has come together and doing all they can for each other here.
For a full list of Plainfield's mobile food truck stops, including dates and times, go to theindychannel.com. There you can also find information on how other school districts are getting meals to families in need. The Meals on Wheels mission is to always provide healthy food to our most vulnerable neighbors, like senior citizens, people who cannot leave their homes, or people living with HIV. Now, during the coronavirus outbreak, the organization is taking even more action to protect clients and volunteers. Clients are encouraged to get a weekly supply of frozen meals delivered through UPS instead of a regular delivery driver. Many Meals on Wheels clients are most at risk to COVID-19 and heavily rely on the service.
It is not really an option for them not to get the nutritious meals that we provide for them. The meals are all medically tailored to their dietary needs.
Meals on Wheels of Central Indiana is in need of volunteers to help prepare pantry boxes that will be shipped to clients. If you're interested, you are asked to email info@mealsonwheelsindy.org. You're asked not to call because the organization needs to keep phone lines clear for clients in need.
It's not just kids who are out of school or people with underlying health issues who need food assistance during this time. Gleaners Food Bank continues to serve people who are already struggling before the economic impact of the coronavirus pandemic, as well as those who have lost their job or income due to the outbreak. Gleaners says the demand for food has grown by 2 or 3 times over the last week. The nonprofit may have trouble keeping up as costs skyrocket.
We've seen an increase of about $400,000 a week in additional food costs. The price of the food that we buy is going up as Gleaners and other food banks compete with for-profit retailers who are going to the same food companies and wholesalers we are. They're trying to replenish their stores. We're trying to replenish the inventory here at the warehouse and keep up.
Congressman Andre Carson volunteered with the food bank this afternoon. He talked to RTV6 about what is being done in Washington to help Hoosiers who are struggling.
We've had discussions. I was just on a conference call with Speaker Pelosi about an hour ago, talking about ways in which we can address these issues. Unemployment insurance has gone up, as you can imagine, and so we're trying to find out ways that we can stimulate the economy while bringing calm to everyday Americans.
And there's a new plan out of the nation's capital to help boost the economy. ABC's Inez de la Cuerta explains what's in the proposal and what it could mean for you.
Senate Republicans and the White House introducing their $1 trillion plan to boost the economy.
Can you still get this done, like early next week if all these...
We don't. We're going to get our...
The plan includes relief for workers, small businesses, and the industries getting hit hardest by the pandemic, airlines, cruises, and hotels.
So I hope this bold new proposal will find a similar degree of bipartisan respect and mutual urgency.
President revealing he would support restricting the ability of companies that receive government support to engage in stock buybacks.
Well, we don't want that. In fact, some companies, as you know, did stock buybacks, and I was never happy with that. It's very hard to tell them not to, but I would tell them not to.
The plan will also include checks sent directly to Americans making less than $100,000. Anyone making $75,000 or less will get a $1,200 check, and anyone making up to $99,000 will get a smaller check. Families with a household income under $198,000 will receive up to $500 per child. And with unemployment projected to spike, the U.S. Department of Labor
Labor is now asking states to hold off on sharing those numbers. The Labor Department releasing unemployment claims data each week. As for the stock market, the Dow Thursday climbing above 20,000. Inez De La Cuetara, ABC News, Washington.
The coronavirus outbreak is creating new jobs in some industries. Senior One Care in Carmel is always looking to hire. The director of recruitment says the need is even greater now with orders to stay home to help stop the spread of COVID-19. And with many people losing their jobs due to the mass closures, Tiffany Friend is making an extra effort to let people know Senior One is hiring.
When we started seeing local restaurants, retailers, bars, hotels having to close their doors, it broke our hearts, really. And it just inspired me to hop online and just put it out there. If you are a bartender or you work at a local store and you need money to pay your bills, we understand that. And we have seniors who need your help.
Caregivers with Senior One Care start off at $13 an hour. You can find more information about those positions and other job opportunities at hiringhoosiers.com.
Today, several local community and health leaders took part in a virtual town hall meeting about the COVID-19 pandemic. The director of the Marion County Public Health Department addressed one myth that's been gaining traction, that African Americans cannot catch the virus.
Let me just say that this particular virus has no discrimination in regard to any race. And no one race like Asian Americans is at a higher risk for this. So we're all, no discrimination. So African Americans can get this virus just as easy as any other ethnic group. So I really want to emphasize that.
The Indianapolis Recorder newspaper sponsored the Facebook town hall in addition to discussing the coronavirus outbreak as a whole. Panelists specifically talked about the impact of the virus on African-American communities in central Indiana. And you can find more takeaways from the virtual town hall on our website. There you will also find much more info about the outbreak, including the latest infection numbers, closures, and resources. Just go to theindychannel.com/coronavirus.
Coming up, IU Health is offering free virtual screening for COVID-19. We'll show you exactly how it works.
Toyota, let's go places.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Welcome back as we go through spring and have more opportunities for severe weather. Just want to make sure you know that the Storm Shield app is free. It acts as a weather radio. Any warnings that are set out during the overnight hours while you're sleeping, you'd be awakened by the alarm that goes off. So that's free for your iPhone or Android device. Overall severe limit is lower than earlier in the day, not non-existent. As you can see, large hail, damaging wind, main threats, isolated tornado in southern Indiana possible. The overall chance of rain remains very high as we go through the overnight hours, but will quickly end as we get to Friday morning. The most likely area for rain continues to be Terre Haute to Indy to Muncie South. There's some heavy rain from Franklin to Shelbyville. Next up will be Rushville, Connorsville, Newcastle will catch some of that. We slide to the southwest, Bloomfield to Bloomington, then back into Nashville with this repeated rain over the same areas. Flash flood watch in effect. An additional 2 inches of rain possible in some spots. 1 o'clock in the morning following that same line, as you can see to the south and east. Now that's the warning I get here in the studio. You get a similar warning with your iPhone on the Storm Shield app. That's a flood warning that's issued Mississinawa River. Okay, 3 a.m. and I think we'll see more of these flood warnings as well. 3 a.m. showers, thunderstorms to the south and east. One parting shot just before you head off to work in the morning. Temperatures in the mid-60s in the morning will fall through the day into the lower 40s. We'll have a cool wind too, gusting to 30 miles per hour. Most importantly, we'll dry out. We'll still have a chance to dry out Saturday. Chance for rain on Sunday, just 20%. Temperatures will be in the lower 40s. Forecast then overnight. We continue with thunderstorms, especially south and east of the metro area. Falling temperatures starting in the morning. Still mild when you wake up, falling all the way into the 20s by Saturday morning. Some sunshine Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures stay in the 40s, though. We begin to warm up next week. As the temperature comes back up, our rain chances return as well. We'll be back in the 60s by the middle of next week, but a daily chance for rain Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Mark?
All right, Kevin, thank you for that. A concern for many Hoosiers, even if they do not have underlying health issues, is how to figure out if you have the coronavirus. Indianapolis-based Eli Lilly is partnering with the state to expand testing. RTV6's Cornelius Hawker shows you how easy it is to get in touch with a medical professional to figure out if you need to get tested.
If it's severe enough, then we help facilitate getting them to the appropriate facility so they can be evaluated further, have their vital signs taken, have somebody listen to their lungs, and then decide if testing is necessary.
That's how IU Health's virtual visit works. A free resource to help out Hoosiers who think they may have coronavirus. Physician assistant Lindsay Coker explains how they follow CDC guidelines that are continually being updated as we learn more about the novel coronavirus causing COVID-19.
We have, infection prevention, and we have physicians and specialists in infectious disease that are always reviewing that.
The service is available 24/7 through an app. Once you get in and create an account, the first thing you'll see is the coronavirus screen. You click on that, and then you can scroll through and see all the nurses who are online, clicking on whoever you'd like to screen you.
We've got some wait times. We've had a lot of people calling in, obviously, and we're working through them as fast as we can. Sometimes trying again at a different time of day might be helpful as well.
Working for you, Cornelius Hawker, RTV6.
And you can find a link to download the screening app at theindychannel.com. Under its partnership with the state, Eli Lilly is not accepting money for conducting and analyzing coronavirus tests. The company also says it's working on a drive-through testing like other states have set up, but right now it's too early to say when that system will be up and running.
For the first time in its 110-year history, Indiana's boys basketball state tournament has been canceled. Today, the IHSAA announced it will not be able to resume games. They had hoped to play regionals last weekend. That plan was called off on Friday. Officials say they will have an update on spring sports in the near future.
And today would have been day one of the men's NCAA tournament, but like so many other events, it's also canceled, leaving many teams wondering, what if? And that includes Butler. RTV6 Sports Director Dave First has more on the Bulldogs' March sadness in the Sports Extra Spotlight.
No more packed arenas, no more trip, no more tourney. What a strange week for the Butler Bulldogs.
Can you believe here we are, March Madness was supposed to start, and everyone's sitting at home?
If you rewind the tape to last Thursday, Wednesday and Thursday, it was obviously a shock to the sports world.
For Butler, they were at the team hotel getting ready for their Big East tourney game against Providence when they watched, like the rest of us, Creighton and St. John's reach halftime when Big East Commissioner Val Ackerman pulled the plug on the tournament. And then around 5:30, a team meeting to hear the NCAA did the same to its own tournament. Regardless of how optimistic any team would be, it's an abrupt end to the season for everyone.
I mean, at least you would play a game or two. Heck, the season is just over like that, man.
No question. This was certainly unique just because no one even had the opportunity to go out and lose, to lose. But there was a lot of tears shed at when we had that 5:30 meeting. It was, I cried, they cried. There was a lot of tears in there just knowing this group doesn't get to do it together anymore.
That includes the end of college careers for Sean McDermott, first-team All-Big East guard Kamar Baldwin, along with the outgoing Henry Badley and Derek Smits.
I think they have a ton of self-satisfaction in knowing every time they got to be together, they were for each other. We enjoyed the heck out of the ride.
A ride that saw the Dogs climb as high as a school record 6th in the Associated Press poll. 22 wins all told, most in a couple of years. Sadly, nothing but handshakes, pats on the back, and what-ifs now.
If they feel satisfied in all this, I mean, you did a great job as a father figure and a coach and a mentor, because this is as trying as it gets, I think, in college basketball, man.
No question. There's a whole. It's like, what could we have done? There's. You think of so many teams across the country, so many players across the country, coaching staffs. Everybody has that. Man, what could we have done had it all played out? No one knows the answer to that. There's perspective in there, although it's difficult.
Butler seniors leave with a few NCAA tournament games under their belt. Many others have not experienced March Madness. They hope to change that next season.
From stitching makeshift medical masks to stringing up Christmas lights, how people around the country are working together to help fellow Americans get through the coronavirus pandemic.
Plus, take 3 years to pay only at Ashley Home Store. From the station working for you, this is an RTV6 special report.
We saw it after 9/11, hurricanes and wildfires, and now during the coronavirus outbreak. When there is a national crisis, Americans step up to help one another. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez shows you how people across the country are working together to make a difference.
It is a sign of the times. While so many are faced with unexpected struggles, strangers are finding selfless ways to help. Like Maggie Thompson creating this box in her Colorado neighborhood.
Lots of folks dropping off non-perishables, pet food. We even have some like toothpaste and stuff like that some people tossed in there.
In Georgia, volunteers stitching together a plan to make masks, which are running low at their local hospital, last even longer.
Instead of using it one time and throwing it away, we believe our staff can use it even for an entire day if we can cover it.
Now dozens of volunteers are sewing as many as a couple thousand of these mask covers every day.
Americans are we're good people. We band together when the going gets tough, and that's a great example of that.
In Ohio, this company, which usually focuses on cleaning things like crime scenes, now offering to disinfect the homes of anyone who's had the flu or COVID-19 in their community for free.
I don't mind doing as much free work as possible to try to help contain the virus.
Author Shea Serrano taking to Twitter to cover bills for people in need, and others trying to spread some cheer.
Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Jimmy Kimmel raising money for charities by posting mini logs from his home each day.
If you do need time away from your family, the inside of your car, I have found, is a great place to scream.
While across the country, people are stringing up Christmas lights, bringing some brightness to days that can otherwise feel pretty dark. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Of course, Hoosiers are also working together to get through the coronavirus outbreak and everything it's impacting. Churches are getting creative to bring people together to worship while also following social distancing guidelines. East 91st Street Christian Church is setting up a program called Listening Ear and a Virtual Hug, offering emotional and spiritual support to anyone in need.
God's people can meet the needs of others around them. We can point people to the hope that we have in the Lord. We can encourage one another and help one another in practical ways.
Associate Minister David Faust also says because communion is a big part of Sunday worship, there will be a drive-through station this weekend. We want to hear your stories of Hoosiers working together during this tough time. Share the positive efforts going on in your community by emailing us at workingforyou@rtv6.com. Be right back right after this.
Make a donation or volunteer today.
We brought you a lot of info tonight about the coronavirus outbreak, and there's even more on our website. Go to theindychannel.com/coronavirus for everything you need to know anytime.
Heavy rain from Vincennes to Bloomington on to Shelbyville and Rushville. There is a flood warning now. It includes Sullivan, Bloomfield, Bloomington, Ellettsville, and Spencer. Overnight thunderstorms most numerous, isolated severe storms south of Indianapolis. Mild when you wake up, but falling temperatures during the day tomorrow.
And that'll do it for us here on RTV6 News at 11. We leave you now with a live look from our Weather Now camera downtown. Have a good evening, everyone.